Good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are at. Wednesday night rugby. The Cadbury Wallabies up against, who are the French sponsors? How's everyone doing? It's a Wednesday night. It's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But I am not complaining. Certainly not complaining. How is everybody going? Alaran, it has been a while. Good to see you, mate. Star Leo. I haven't actually had a look at the crowd yet. Matt Samoa was being talked up in the build-up. Indeed. JP's been here or hereabouts. Jason is in. Novmum. Few shiners in the team photos. I missed that part. I was too busy getting ready. War God King, how's it going? Nice food takeaways, man. How are you, sir? Declan got the day off work today. I only realized the game was 1 hour ago. There you go. What a day to have the day off. Howdy, Jack. Dean says capacity, Aussie crowd as always. Yeah, there's a fair few empty seats there that may be worthy of note, unfortunately. Maybe it's a COVID thing, though, because New South Wales and somewhere else are not doing that well with the COVID, so maybe that's part of it. People don't want to go into crowds. There are still restrictions. Right, fair enough. Fair enough. Empty crowd. What is the deal with the restrictions? Somebody fill me in. Is it a limited crowd? There's no interstate travel? Daramundi, man, how's it going? Schlangers on the beers and ciggies. I've got a beer here, but no ciggies, unfortunately. It's been a long time since I've had a cigarette. Probably a good thing. I could get away with that in my 20s. Not anymore. Cheers from Paris. Ready for some Wednesday noon international rugby. There you go. What did we pick? Let's have a look. I think I picked the Wallabies for this one. Queensland had a snap lockdown recently, cap on attendance at sporting events. Okay. Makes sense. Too late to change my pick by the look of things. Did I not make a pick? No. It's saying I missed the pick because my result's currently different from the current one. I picked Australia by 9. Right, we've got the French national anthem, which is one of the better ones. You got to admit, the French national anthem is top 3, surely, with anthems. It's a bit of a cracker. It's on Sky Sports. If you're in the UK, maybe not. I'm not actually sure. In New Zealand, it certainly is. Novbum got some redundancy money from a hubby. You're going to buy a lawnmower. Way to splash the cash. I'm trying to kill my lawn with cardboard and mulch. There you go. Darwin's got the Wallabies by 3. James is in France. Good afternoon, mate. Working out the restrictions near impossible. Changes every day. Right, I will not go too hard on the crowd then when I do the video later. I wouldn't blame people for being a bit kind of cautious anyway. Wales fan, not the biggest fan of France right now, but I'm not keen on Australia either. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, man. Craig is in Brisbane. How's it going, Craig, man? Things are going good. Dean's got the Aussies by 12. What's my penny? James Ryan didn't get picked. I think he'll do well as Ireland's captain. I think it's a good growth opportunity for him. Doesn't have to go on the Lions tour. I think there's a win-win. Number 1 anthem, I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to them again. And some of them, it actually depends how they are sung. Some of them can be sung, like the New Zealand one, if it's kept upbeat, can actually be pretty good. But if it goes slow, it's really dreary, personally. French and Italian anthems are among the very best. The Argentinian one's not bad, although it starts off with a bit of a instrumental. New Zealand has the best anthem. Don't know about that. James Duffy, man, I'm going good. It's Wednesday evening rugby for me, man. Pretty happy. Can't complain. Like Wednesday is usually the no rugby day. There's absolutely no rugby on a Wednesday. Patrick is up early watching rugby and says France by 7. Schlanger says Wallabies by 40. Which French side will turn up? I don't even know, man. I think I said in the preview of all the guys that Fabien Galtier had to pick from, he picked some of the more experienced guys, but in this situation, the more experienced guys aren't that experienced. So, yeah, tough one. I think the jersey would be better if the Cadbury was the same color as the color, but not too bad. Same color as the color. It's definitely better than the NIB. I think it's blended not too bad. It was dead at Central Station this afternoon on the way home. People are just staying out of the city. Fair enough, man. I'll also write that in the notes I'm taking here. It's just a fact, isn't it, at the moment? James, mate, my day's going pretty good. I have been busy. I watched some MLR and finished off some of the database building stuff I've been doing as well. Here we go. I'm going to kick off. Now, as always, guys, my stream tends to be behind everybody else's. I will give you the marker when I'm at 10 seconds, which is right about now. So if you could be so kind as to try not to drop any too specific spoilers into the chat. Because, yeah, it's always good to see it kind of fresh without knowing exactly what's going to happen. But anyway, we are underway. Feeling a bit chilly. Yeah, Anthony, I have been a bit crook the last kind of few days. My daughter picked up a bug from daycare, and sure enough, she was generous enough to share that one with me. So I'm pretty much over it now, but I ain't taking any chances. I'm keeping all warm and snug. Oof, oof. Only a minute in, and the Wallabies have got a penalty. I'm ahead of you by 20 seconds, Dean. I'm virtually never ahead of anybody. But that's interesting. What is Adam? Good evening, Adam. Why did Australia get rid of the NRC? Adam, I'm not 100% sure, but my understanding is it was funded by the deal that Fox had. And when they signed the new deal with Nine, there wasn't the money for it. That's my understanding. But yeah, someone can correct me if I am mistaken. Tom Banks has missed touch. What an unfortunate one. But cheers for that, Adam. Kindly appreciated that. It's going to be a bugger in the long term not having that NRC talent to come through. Because it does take a couple of years, I think, before you really see the benefits of it. It's not like it just hits instantly. And a Wallabies knock on. I believe I even put a few dollars on this one. Will I be up for 5 a.m. to watch the Lions? You swear I never sleep. I feel like I am going to get up to watch the Lions at 5 o'clock, but I'm probably not going to stream it. Because if I talk too loud and wake up the children at 5 o'clock, they're not like to go back to sleep. 5 o'clock, they'll probably just get out of bed. And my wife has to go to work at... she leaves at like 6 something, so... The game won't finish until 7, so I want them to stay asleep as long as possible because, yeah, otherwise I'll be bloody making breakfast. Mark Dunphy, good evening, man. 3:12 a.m. How are you, sir? Long time no see. It's been a long time between streams, to be honest. Maybe use OBS. OBS is another one of those programs. I use it a little bit for screen recording, but not much else. Always makes me feel like an old man because I can never figure it out. Whiskey's great for getting the kids back to sleep. Yeah, I haven't tried that one as yet. Streaming's not worth antagonizing the whole family. There you go. Yes. I mean, if it was the weekend, I might do it because my wife would be here and probably able to settle them back down. But if I'm here by myself, I don't want kids to be waking up. Vincent had a big old run just then, and the Wallabies are on the back foot. Goodness me. Any Chinese liquor tonight, Schlanger? I hadn't planned on it. But I do have a bottle. I've almost finished the bottle, actually. I've been kind of demolishing that stuff, but only with food, usually. Let's hope for a close game, and both sides need to run it. There you go. Well, Vincent just had a good run at moment. But the handling has not been 100% from both sides. Still shaking off a bit of rust, undoubtedly. And yeah, Laurent, the British and Irish Lions are taking on the Sharks because thankfully neither of those camps have got COVID. The Rocks have got COVID. The Georgians have got COVID. The Bulls have got COVID. But yeah, not the Sharks or the Lions yet. Not sure about the Cheetos coloured kit. Isn't it, Ribsy, back to a traditional jersey that the Wallabies used to wear? April 2, kia ora, how are you doing? Are you watching Australia against France? You should be, because it's on the channel you get, right? The Cadbury Wallabies. Carbonell. Going close. I have to remember this French lineup, man. Too many of these guys are unfamiliar. Carbonell, at least I know. Bamba. Gets it to Makalu. Here we go. Villiers. Oh, first try goes to the French. OBS for streaming on Twitch. Okay. I'll need to hit you up if I need help with how to actually set the bloody thing up. I think part of the problem is I used to use one monitor when trying to set it up, but you need two. Now I've got two, so that's fine. Man, what a try. Worrying early signs, yes. April 2 can support everybody but New Zealand because, yeah, New Zealand decided to keep the broadcast rights limited to Rugby Pass, which is kind of like a pay-per-view style model at the moment. War Gods paused, yeah. Thank you, mate. Keep us on the same track. Why are they playing on a Wednesday, Solomon? I think because this tour is kind of jam-packed. They've got a bunch of games back to back to back. Yes, James, it was an Australian try. I will update the score in just a second. Let me take that down. It's a missed conversion though, pretty kickable one. Still 5-0. AY's getting ready to move boxes. What's the deal, mate? You moving house? Steve Rennie. Cold, Mr. Big. Yeah, it was, it's not actually, it's been a wee bit chilly, but I've been a bit crook, so, yeah. Trying to keep warm. But I'm pretty much better now, to be honest. Right, the Wallabies need to go through some phases here. Has anybody gone 5 phases yet? I don't think so. Oh, for God's sake, the Wallabies have knocked it on. Ninja mate, how's it going? Harry J, I don't think you're allowed to post links in the chat. It will just get blocked. YouTube doesn't do links because of spam. But if you have a Google, you might be able to find it. He's just a closet Canes fan. Victoria, Nice Food Takeaways always accuses me of being a Canes fan. The only reason I got this Canes jacket is because they had sold out of Blues ones. But anyway. Jack, mate, we're going good. It's 5-0 to the French after 9 minutes and 12 seconds. We're setting the scrum. So far, the French have proven that they do have a heck of a lot of depth, which is something we talked about in the preview after the Autumn Nations Cup, especially. They showed that, but the Aussies aren't doing themselves any favours with missing touch and knocking the ball on and whatnot. But yeah. Canes fan. Aussie backline might have a problem with lack of chemistry. Yeah, it was an interesting pick in some of those positions, eh? But I guess with James O'Connor being out, it probably meant Dave had to reassess how he was going to line up the side. Luke, it is 10:17 p.m. here in New Zealand, and we've got 10 minutes and 17 on the clock between the Wallabies and France. At the minute, it's 5-0. And yep, Victoria's right. There's a heap of French depth, and going into 2023, they are going to be very dangerous. 5-0 to France. Do you feel neutral in these games, or do you naturally root for the Southern Hemisphere teams? In theory, I root for the Southern Hemisphere teams, but you can kind of have certain like storylines in your head, as to why you support one team over another. It could just be that you like one of the players on one of the teams and you want to see them do well. I generally just like to see a close game when it's not my team. If it's my team, I want them to blow the other team off the water. Because my scoreboard says 0 to France. Australia 0-5 France. Doesn't that make sense? Am I going nuts? Dupont is still back in France. Oh, watch out, people say. Goodness me, okay. France are in their own 22 and the Wallabies have got a scrum. This could be tasty. Wallabies set piece, backline, move. Gordon gets it to right. Picked off pretty quickly. Oh, Paisami. Goodness gracious me. Wow. He's aggressive, man. He has no regard for his own personal safety. He just throws himself into everything, does Hunter Paisami. One of the passes looked flat. That one. I'd like to see that from another angle, but anyway. Yeah, Ribsy says maybe forward. It did look... Ooh. They've just put potential forward pass on my screen. They're going to have a look at it. Forward out of the hands. They're going to choke that off. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, even on first viewing, it looked... Yeah. Close. It's marginal. It's pretty tight. Unlucky. I mean, I think it is marginally forward, yeah, but... Sorry, James, mate. No. It was Villiers from France that got the first try. Got 121 people and only 27 likes. Let's get liking. That is true. It is always good to like. Be liberal with your likes. YouTube likes. It also likes comments. It also likes long view times. What else does YouTube like? They tell you. There's a whole bunch of stuff they tell you should be getting from your audience. Long view times. Likes, comments. What else? Subscriptions, obviously. I swear there's something else. And whether people watch more of your videos? Something like that. How many patrons? It's like 100 and something at the moment. So it's very generous of people. People give anywhere from like $1 a month to 20 something, $20 a month. So it certainly helps me out, seeing as I ain't working. Used to be for jerseys, to be fair. Oh, shares. There you go, Tim. Yes, that's right. None of the things I'm getting, pretty much. JP's been having pizza and not the pineapple variety. Apparently, if you put a bunch of those stupid polls up, people will vote. They like that too. Actually, yes. Shorts and polls. I've been doing a few polls recently. I try to only do like one a week because polls are apparently very good. YouTube favors polls. I saw, who was that guy's video about it? The guy who always does like the British guy who does the videos about hacking, not hacking stuff, but like hacks to get more out of stuff. Is there any beer trivia? There is. By the way, France have just got the first scrum penalty of the game. So, yeah. That's looking a wee bit ominous. The spiffing Brit. That's the dude. That's the dude. I was watching his stuff before he even did YouTube analysis stuff, like when he was just doing gaming hacks. Connor, we are at 15:55. As a New Zealand fan, do you go into every game thinking, yeah, we're going to win this? New Zealand go into a lot of their games as favourites, so kind of, I guess. Like, you remember that game in Chicago against Ireland? I always thought we were going to win it until a certain point, then I knew we were going to lose it. But even when we were behind, I was like, surely we're going to win. Theft is making pineapple pizza right now. Good man, Theft. Good man. I may order pineapple pizza. You lot, it's making me hungry. Good. Good. Order the pineapple pizza. I need to get like a sponsorship with a pineapple, some kind of Hawaiian pizza company. Company that specializes in Hawaiian pizzas. Surely. Fifth always thinks the All Blacks will lose. Wallabies looking underdone. The rust is looking a wee bit real, isn't it? Don't bring back the pineapple pizza, I know. I did not think we would win in Chicago. My special powers told me, so I stopped watching, and that's why they really lost. April 2, you cost me money. I put money on that game, and I lost it. I lost it all. That's a better kick. Eight 0. What a kick. Happy to be back in New Zealand with some local Domino's and Pizza Hut. French versions are expensive and not as good. Is that right? It's a weird thing having food overseas. I think I've mentioned before, in China, Pizza Hut is like still like a proper fancy, not fancy, but slightly upmarket dine-in restaurant. Like there's no Pizza Hut delivery. Yeah. Alaran says it's bloody freezing today in Western Australia. I didn't think it got freezing in Western Australia, or am I just being ignorant as usual? Come on, Australia, get it to Marika. He's going. He's beaten Dante. No, Dante's got him. Brought down. Come on. Yeah, 8-0 down. What are we going to do? Do you have moderators? I wouldn't mind being one. Oh, yeah, James. I can certainly make you a moderator, I think. I don't have many. I think I've only got one. I probably should, but most people don't talk nonsense, and I'm usually able to keep an eye on the chat myself, but yeah. Ignorant as usual. There we go. Alaran makes sense. I just always think Western Australia is the honey badger out there surfing. Theft also volunteers to be a moderator. Alright. There you go. Alright, no. There you go. France looked the business. A lot of people were writing the French off. I think I put like $4 on France to win this one, but I did give them a point start. So, yeah. And yes, these chats are pretty sane in comparison to most of the YouTube stuff. Indeed. Indeed. If anyone is being absolutely obnoxious, they just go. I can't have that. What did I bet on France? Oh yeah, I put $4 on France with a head start. Oh man, it's just not going right for the Wallabies, is it? Lawson looks like he's got the yips, indeed. Yeah, the unforced errors from Australia at the moment are getting pretty bad. April was a moderator on a Facebook group and people are horrible. I feel like Facebook actually gets worse. Big scrum from the Aussies, but nope. The French still managed to get it out. Here goes Villiers. Oh, cripes. He's got two. Wow. 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 This is not looking good for the Wallabies. Holy smokes. You could see Michael Hooper trying to get off there. They'll have to check that pass as well. Yeah, the Aussie commentators are now saying maybe they need to check that pass. I would be checking it. That's why rugby is pretty much dead in Australia. They can play better than this. Oh. Boomfa. That's two. Try time is right. Randy, they went back for a more traditional look, trying to get back to their historical greatness, and yeah, it's flat, eh? They've just shown it from another angle, and it just looks straight to the side. Louis says a good time to be having lunch in France. You gotta be pretty happy with the start, man. 15-0. 15-0. Wow. This is not looking good. Some Super Rugby Trans-Tasman looking Wallabies. Yeah, where's the Super Rugby AU Wallabies? Aussie commentators are very biased. They're better than they were when they were on Fox. It's at least a little bit of a change. Wallabies off to a rough start, Big V8 show. You have been there before. Someone needs to take these guys by the scruff of the neck and settle them down because, yeah, it's a bit ugly. At least they've won some line-out ball. Morning's in South Africa. I would imagine watching in the morning, late morning, early morning, mid-morning. French commentaries are always ridiculously biased. Adds a lot of emotion to it. You know what was funny is the stereotype we have of Spanish commentators, at least for football or soccer, is that they're incredibly passionate, right? And then sometimes I've heard Spanish rugby commentary which seems equally passionate. Now for the Romania versus Argentina game, my feed had 2 Argentinian commentators speaking English, which is hard. It can't be easy to commentate in your second language. But they were so emotionless. It was deadpan the whole time. I thought that was a bit bizarre. Maybe it's just because they were speaking a second language. It's sometimes harder to add the emotion when you're in a second language, eh? 12:30 p.m. in South Africa. Man, my ignorance strikes again. Have I heard the Spanish NHL commentary? I have not. I didn't even know that was a thing. Being cautious as to what they say. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I used to teach English when I was over in China. And when I would get the kids to do like a speech, they would do it pretty much monotone the whole time. But of course, when they spoke Chinese to each other, they would speak with emotion. So maybe that's just a second language thing. Don't know. Wallabies need to chill out. They're playing like trying to score from every face to bias. Yeah, they do need to just kind of go back to their process, which sounds cliche, but I really think that's true. Punjabi NHL commentary is awesome too. Bloody hell. I'll have to check that out. Right, the Wallabies actually have a maul inside the French 22. The French guys are coming in at the sides, and sure enough, they get pinged for it. So they'll have a free throw. What can they do? Tamur. Cross kick. It's too big. It's too big. Can I speak Chinese, Jack? Pretty well. Yeah, I can communicate pretty well. I can definitely speak with emotion when I speak Chinese. I can make myself understood. I can order food, talk about the weather, have general conversations, have a 20-minute chat with a taxi driver, that kind of thing. I can't talk about politics or anything kind of complicated. Science, medical stuff's hard. But yeah, my Chinese is alright. Where did I work, or what did I work as in China? I was an English teacher, bro. That is a cruisy job. Cruisy job. Come on, Wallabies. 5-meter line out. You need to get on the board, man. It's almost half an hour and you're 15 points down. 28 minutes are on the clock. Use it once is the call from the ref. Gordon's got his hands on it, but Paengamosa won't let it go. Here he goes. Gordon to Tamua. Advantage again. It's a penalty. What do you do here if you're the Wallabies? Getting close to a yellow aileron. I'm inclined to agree. Corsa commentators in South Africa are pretty awesome to hear. I have heard a few clips of Corsa commentary as well, and it does sound, pretty passionate. The Wallabies 15 has a weird kicking technique. Yeah, he does. It's unique, but he does all the kicking for touch for his club as well. Macapaka. Hope the Wallabies get better before they play us. With South Africa playing the British and Irish Lions, and we're just playing Aussie. Tonga, Fiji, Argentina. We're ready for the Springboks. Yeah, that's a fair point. But then again, Fiji could be. I don't think people lump Tonga, Fiji, and Samoa in together. I don't think Fiji's in the same boat as Tonga and Samoa at the moment. I think Fiji's in a lot better position. I will buy myself a Cadbury chocolate if if the Aussies lose. They need all the support they can get. Valtini had a big carry. It looked like he just knocked it on. Did Fiji get their European players? They got some, I believe, but a few of the big guns like Randraja has gone to the sevens for the Olympics, so yeah. Why don't I show the game? Because unfortunately, me as a guy sitting here in my living room, I don't own the rights to broadcast an international rugby match. I know that's hard to believe. You look at this living room and you think, man, that guy, surely he's Rupert Murdoch's son. Something like that, but nope. Just a guy in his living room. Fiji been able to move forward and some are not able to. Yeah, I guess. I mean, Fiji is a lot bigger than Tonga and Samoa, I guess, is one part. But they seem to produce a lot more players domestically. Like, the majority of the Fijian guys actually play their rugby, like, they come from Fiji. Whereas if you look at the majority of the Tongan and Samoan squads, they're mostly Kiwis with some kind of connection. So, yeah, the domestic game in Fiji just seems to be a lot better run. Fiji, yeah, like Flexion says, a heap more population, much bigger country. Chief, am I going to watch the Sharks and Lions? Yes, I will probably watch it. I'll definitely watch it. I just probably won't stream it because it'll be 5 in the morning. Don't want to wake up my kids. Have I followed much of the Euros? Not at all. The only thing I know about the Euros is England beat Germany, and that never happens in knockout games. England beat Germany. That's the only thing I know about the Euros. I used to follow soccer football quite a bit, but not anymore. It is dead to me. Not quite. I just don't follow it much. Come on, Wallabies. 5 phases. 4 meters away. Here we go. Oh, has Salakailona knocked it on? No, it's a penalty. They've got to get a warning here. There's got to be a warning. Hold on, he says. It's got to be a warning. Too many penalties, yeah. Had to come. Australia, big period of pressure. But it's just pen after pen, man. Have you heard Luke Diaka and him getting COVID? I have. France have conceded the last 4 penalties. Watch up. All right. Pangamos is going to have to throw. Here we go. It's crabbing sideways. Harry Wilson almost lost his shorts, but no. And it looks like they've gone over. Brendan Pickerel stumbles his way and manages to give the try. Late night for me, 10:41 p.m. So reasonable. It's better than 2 in the morning, I'll give you that. About time, JP. Indeed, about time. Did I put my money on France? I did, but I gave them like an 11-point head start, so I'm only going to make a couple of bucks. I put $4 on them at $1.65. So I will make what, like $2? $2.60. Almost school holidays, Nov Mum. Yeah, next week is school holidays, and my son is going to be home with me for 2 weeks. How am I supposed to watch the British and Irish Lions? Fortunately, most of the games are on when he's in bed, but I will definitely be getting a lot of Dada. Can we play? Which is not a bad thing. People tell me I will miss that. I will miss that when he's 16. So I have to play. If he asks me to play, we've got to go play. Vakatawa is not playing, mate. Ooh, what a conversion. Solid stuff. Good settler from Lolosio. 7 points. Transformers all day. Pretty much. Although, he's been getting back into his Lego at the moment. So, he's been watching some Ninjago. You want a Garrett and Gazza 2-cent stream. I don't know if Garrett would do the full 2 hours, but he might make a cameo. Stanley, I am a bit delayed, so once again I will ask kindly if anybody sees anything ultra dramatic like tries or red cards and stuff, try to keep it under your hat just for a little bit so we don't drop spoilers for those of us who are behind. Daughter asked to do things at nearly 20. She likes to work out with you. And you'd prefer Lego. Yeah, I prefer playing Lego than I prefer playing Transformers, because then I can just start building my own stuff. Someone asked me if I was getting hot, and actually I am getting pretty hot. But apparently I don't know how to work a zip. I swear that's not me, that's the zip. Don't buy these jackets. I've had notorious, oh there we go, problems with the zip. Nah, it's just me. I'm just not capable of unzipping a jacket. Going on a girls' trip with Mum this weekend. Oh, nice. So there is hope for me to play with my son, to go out with my son, to hang out with my son when he gets a bit older. It is me, Jay. I blame the zip, but it's honestly just me. I don't know about the weather in Western Australia. I can't pick the time difference between New Zealand and South Africa, and I can't work a zip. Here we go. Tom Wright. Ooh, he's in touch. Surely he's in touch. He's in touch. Just become really good at stuff like Call of Duty. My 19-year-old son really only likes to hang out with his lovely girlfriend. So there's a 50-50 chance that one of them will want to hang out with me when they're a teenager. It's almost half time, folks. This game's kind of flown by. It's been a half of two halves. The Wallabies have really been exerting some pressure in the last 10 minutes in particular. Am I going to stream for the Lions game? I don't think so, man. Banks has just spilled it. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and my missus will be getting up to go to work, and my kids will still be asleep, and my son's bedroom is right through there, so I won't risk it. Have I ever been to Onehunga KFC? Yes. I lived in Onehunga for ages. I've been to the KFC, the McDonald's, the Ollie's, the Nando's. Oh, I'm thinking of Royal Oak KFC. There's no KFC in Onehunga. There's one at Royal Oak. Yeah, no, it's not Saturday. It's a work day tomorrow. Hungry Jacks. We don't have Hungry Jacks in New Zealand. We have Burger King. And Burger King, where I used to live, was the one fast food joint they didn't have. But, yeah, there is a Burger King just down the road from me here. Burger King is not doing well in New Zealand. Burger King is doing very poorly. No, Onehunga doesn't have a KFC core. Sorry, I'm mistaken. I was thinking of the Royal Oak one. Federico, good to see you, man. Yes, good. Been pretty good. Great KFCs of New Zealand. Well, we've all talked about the Southland, the Invercargill KFC, right? Running out of chicken. So there's only one Burger King left in Wellington. Yeah, man, they're shutting down like crazy. I went to Newmarket the other day, and the Burger King that I used to go to when I was a teenager, because when I was a teenager, we used to go to hang out at Newmarket because that was the place to be, apparently. That's closed down. My mates used to even work there. That's gone. The one opposite the cinema, it's gone. Burger King is mank in the UK, disgusting. That's probably why they're closing down, man. It's worth a sick day for a 2-cent stream. 6 a.m. is not too bad. I'm getting up at 5 a.m. for the rugby, so there you go. It is half time now. France need to work on their discipline. Yeah, I'm seriously going to call that a two-sided half. I will be interested to see what the stats are at half time. Papa Toi Toi Burger King is holding on. Yeah, there's a Burger King down the road from me here in Henderson that seems to be doing pretty well. So maybe that just kind of depends. I went to the one at the Manukau Westfield once, and it was mank. It was so bad. I never take food back. Even if it's bad, I will just eat it and never go back. That's the only place I took the burger back and was like, what is this? This is not what is on the picture. And the lady was like, yes, it is. And I'm like, you need to make me another one because this is not it. And she said, no, that's it. So I threw it in I threw it in the bin on her side of the counter. I just threw it in disgust. And I never do that kind of thing. You know that kind of prick that you see just like moaning at like the poor counter staff? This was the manager and I was being that guy, and I'm never that guy. That's how bad that burger was. So bad. So bad. Have I ever been to the Pack and Save in Henderson? That's my regular shopping one, definitely. That's my regular supermarket now. Ah, trivia time and time for a new beer. Randy, yes. Thank you, Randy, for the tip. It is the question, the trivia. I think we've had this one before. I'll read it anyway. In which sport must the ball used weigh not less than 45.93 grams? There you go. Have I been recognised in public? I think I could count the amount of times on one hand, but yes. Star Leo has got it. It is indeed golf. It is indeed golf. Theft's got it as well. Golf. It's golf. Golf. A bad burger makes anyone bad. Indeed. Can't have a bad burger. Right, halftime stats. Possession. Interestingly, 64-36 to the Aussies. Territory, 72-28. Goodness me. Knock-ons, 3-2. Turnovers conceded, 6-3. That's where the Aussies having more of those. The Wallabies are tackling at 81%, which is not the best. The French are at a much more respectable 88%, but they've had to make more. But penalties conceded. Goodness me, who said the French discipline at 7-2? See, I'm not going to act like it's a rock star for hell, but how many times have I been seen? One Sunwolves fan spotted me at a Sunwolves game, and he said he liked my videos. Randy Viper saw me at the final of Trans-Tasman. Came over and said hey, which was cool. One guy, the weirdest one, is a guy who took a selfie with me at Pack and Save Royal Oak. That was a bit weird. He said him and his missus watched my videos. His missus didn't look like she watched my videos. She looked like, who the hell's this guy? Yeah. But anyway. Have you been to Britomart train station? Yes. Most definitely. I know that story is a lie. The Sunwolves don't have fans. Come on, man. It was the game of the North Shore. It was. He may have been Japanese. I assume he was Japanese. He was wearing a Sunwolves jersey, and he looked Japanese, if that means anything. I think I saw you once, but I was too chicken to ask. Actually, I'm the same. If I see anybody I recognize from somewhere else, I never go up and talk to them. I never do it. Never. Right, I think I'm going to go grab a second beer, but now Randy's got me wanting to look at Drew Mitchell's glasses because I haven't seen them. Old man Willie boy, how's it going, Craig, mate? Watching on Premier Sports Asia, so I have to view on a laptop. Huge momentum shift in the last 10 minutes, absolutely. Edwards will be giving them the hairdryer. Has he travelled with the party? I assume he has. I haven't seen him. Oh yeah, Drew Mitchell's glasses aren't the best. Should have gone to Specsavers. Yeah, those are not good at all. Not good. I'll be back in just a tick. I'm gonna get a beer. second bit of trivia. I feel like the chats here have a few more of us ladies represented, maybe a small percentage of the subs. But interestingly, like on the YouTube analytics, it's always like 5% women, 95% guys. But yeah, I think in the live streams and like on Patreon, it's a much bigger representation. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Right, let me have a look. Okay. Which New Zealand Olympian was given the nickname Golden Guns? Golden Guns. Golden Guns. It's not Valerie Adams. Oh, there you go. Nice food takeaways. Got it. Lisa Carrington. She does the kayak, right? It's not rowing. It's that one. Kayaking. Lisa Carrington. She always looks really awkward about it when like any interviewer mentions her massive arms. Like she's embarrassed. All right, bro, you should be proud of that, man. You're massive. Gregory, me of course. Yeah, ain't got nothing on Lisa Carrington, mate. She could pack a scrum, alright. She's got guns for days, and she should be proud as punch. Because there's a lot of work gone into getting arms like that. 40 minutes for the Wallabies to sort themselves out, indeed. Oh, the alcohol ban in South Africa. Sorry, mate. Well, if it makes you feel any better, with dinner, sometimes I've been drinking this stuff. And this stuff will make you not want to drink anymore. This is another bottle of Chinese liquor. Now, previously I had the green bottle, right? I had the green bottle. The reason I'm drinking this stuff is my father-in-law likes to drink this stuff. And I figure once the travel is allowed again, God knows how long that's going to be, because he always drinks with dinner. I figure next time I'll drink with him, because I never drink with him because this stuff makes me nauseous. But I've been trying to kind of acquire the taste. I showed him the previous bottle, which was the green one, and he was like, bro, don't drink that. That's like only for cooking. You shouldn't drink that. That's really bad. So at least this one, he says, is not so bad. It looks like a cleaning product, not booze. Yeah, it's not the best. It's 42%, which is lighter than the other one. The other one I tried was like 50 something. It's pretty gross. Yeah, basically I'm trying to acquire the taste, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Like it stinks pretty. Whew. Yeah, nah. Yeah. I don't think the stuff that I drank was actually cooking stuff, but he said that stuff's rubbish and nobody would use it for anything but cooking, basically. So, how much of a donation do I need to chug the whole bottle? If I chug that whole bottle, there's not much left. I would vomit everywhere. So, yeah, nah. I drink it in shot glasses, one by one, and I probably, at the most, I've had 4, and I felt pretty bad. So, yeah, I'm just... someone asked about the Chinese booze earlier, so that's the stuff, and it's pretty gross. Pretty gross. Super Brew is a predictions game. So, if I can get it... Super Brew... Let me see. Have I got any picks to make? Picks. Yeah, so like... You got South Africa, you can see that, Georgia, you pick your team, you pick your number, what do you think they're going to win by? They're going to win by 18 points, and then you go, it's South Africa, I've picked them, and you save it. Samoa against Tonga, Samoa by 10, New Zealand against Fiji, New Zealand by 25, Wales against Argentina, Wales by 14, that kind of thing. There you go. Made my picks. Happy days. $50 reduced to Scarlet? Nah. I value my liver. No. Not a chance. Why are you trying to acquire the taste? It sounds good for killing weeds, maybe. Just because, like, whenever I go to, like, the big family dinners, like, anytime we go back to China, it's like my father-in-law plus the uncles, they're all, like, drinking this stuff, and they're always kind of like, do you want some? And then I'm like, nah, because I know if I drink it, I'll be sick. And then they're just kind of like, yeah, okay. You can just kind of go over there with the women and the children, you know. Part of my wanting to fit in with that, I don't know why I want to, but I just feel like I should be at the big boys' table for one meal. I don't know. I am getting used to it. I think the problem was I wasn't eating the right food when I drink it. What is it exactly? It is a spirit made from, I think, sorghum, which is like wheat. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad stuff, but I am getting used to it, to be honest. So it's a man thing. I know, April too. I feel silly for wanting to do that, but I always feel like a little, I guess, left out. I don't know. Sorghum, that's cow feed. There you go. Ireland versus the United States, James, mate. Ireland should do it pretty comfortably, but the US looked pretty good, so maybe similar margin to what we saw against the Americans. Liver may not thank you there, nah. Nah, you need to have that stuff with some very kind of salty, fatty food, and it tastes alright, but on its own it tastes gross. Just guess another harm he's done to your liver. Yeah. There's no way that's getting sculled. Not for any price. No. I wouldn't be able to scull it. I would literally just spit it all over the screen and then I'd have a broken laptop. MLR's been doing great things for the Eagles. How many times have I said it? But recently, anyway. There's nothing like playing rugby as your job. It's going to make you better at doing it. Still trying to impress the in-laws, Charlotte? Kind of, in a way. Like, I noticed when I first met my in-laws, there was me, in terms of guys, me, my wife's younger cousin, so a younger man than me, a couple of years younger, and then her older cousin, who's the same year as me, but a few months older. And when we first met, neither of them smoked, and neither of them drank this stuff. But as they've kind of gotten older, they try to get in with their dads and be like the traditional dudes. So they started drinking that stuff. And then I'm the only guy left behind. So they're all off doing their ha ha ha, jokey, have fun. And yeah, I can't even travel, so I don't know why I'm bothering, but I just am. All the aunties love having me at the table. Yeah, kind of. Maybe I just don't want to be at the aunties' table. At least they can't talk about me in Chinese behind my back. That's true. I will understand them for the most part. No, Mum, I've been married since 2013. 2013, so it's been a while. 250, JP, is the number that means idiot. Remember? Because it's half of 500. Yeah, no. Each cigarette will take an average of 11 minutes off your life. Holy smokes. Glad I'm not doing that anymore then. Right, there's rugby on. The second half, if you didn't know, is underway as we're talking about disgusting alcohol and other stuff. Yeah, 41 minutes and 15 seconds. The Wallabies are coming back into this game. They're starting to look dangerous. No. I ain't doing it. I ain't sculling that. There's not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. 22 all draw, Jack reckons. That's off for the evening. All right, mate. Take it easy. Who did you think before the match started, Ryan? I picked the Wallabies, but by single-digit margin. So I didn't think it would be a blowout, especially after the Autumn Nations Cup when we saw how well the French kind of B team did. They still seem to have a lot of depth at the moment. So yeah. Hooper's still great at the breakdown, yeah. $1 trillion. I mean, I probably would do it for $1 trillion, but I don't actually think I could do it. Like, your body, if you try and scale that, your body has a reaction every time you drink even a little bit, which kind of, not conducive to swallowing. Yeah. All right, man, James, take it easy. French C team, says Eric. Yeah. But they still got a bunch of guys in there, so... Craig was expecting more from the Wallabies. My Māori aunties could drink any man under the table and they'd feed you well too. That sounds like the best of both. Right, the Aussies have opted for 3. So it's 10 points to 15. It's gotten a little bit closer. Dante is a beast. He is a big unit of a man, isn't he? When you think solid, you think that guy. That's not the best clearance kick there from the Aussies, from Gordon. So, yeah, good chance for the French. Tian, mate, I don't have the clock on the screen at the moment, but I'll let you know once it comes up. Who do you reckon is the one holdout Wallabies selected that has a grudge against Tate McDermott? Oh, they've mucked up their line out, the French, so the Wallabies get kind of an easy exit. Maybe it's just Dave. Chip and chase for Tom Wright. He's got some gas, but he's not going to have enough. Kuyu gets back. Marius, man, how is it going, bro? Mom just told me I'm the age everyone will now be calling me auntie. You don't have to be auntie. It's my mom's telling me old. I kind of get that feeling, April, when I was in... again, it always comes back to bloody China. But in China, likewise, people call you family terms even if you're not family. So when I would first get over there... Like, if I was just talking to random people, like if there was a mum with her kid, when I first got over there in my 20s, she would say to the kid, hey, this older brother is from New Zealand. Let's try speaking your English with him. But once I hit my 30s, I wasn't the older brother, I became uncle. So, yeah. That's how you know you're getting older. There's other words that go past uncle as well, so, yeah. Lost forward by the French. They're starting to do what the Wallabies were doing in the first half. Same in South Korea. Yeah, they like those kind of age words to classify you into a group, eh? As to what kind of level you're at. Family terms for those people you meet, that's right, eh? Don't know why that's not done in English. Apart from bro. I'm 22 and now an uncle with another niece and nephew on the way. That's what lockdown has done, Declan. I can imagine. I live in Singapore. You lived in Singapore, that's uncle and auntie as well? Hello from Cape Town. This is Jimmy. Hope hope things are going well in Cape Town at the moment, bro. I know it's the Gauteng that's the bad area at the moment in terms of the COVID stuff. Ruby just asked if you could speak Mandarin. She did it for GCSEs here, and she said it's sick that I can. Yeah, I suppose I could. I can say, 今天我碰到了一个小孩子，他又问我，今天有没有西瓜吃？我说没有，现在冬天哪里有西瓜吃？Because there's a little kid at the daycare who always asks me if I've got watermelon. And I said no, because it's winter and there's no watermelons. He asks me that every time. Every time I see him at my kid's daycare. He speaks to me in Chinese because he knows I can speak Chinese. Pretty good. I hope so. I lived in China 7 years, so I should be pretty decent. Sounds Chinese. That's the thing though, like you hear someone speaking a language you can't understand, it automatically sounds correct, right? How's the game looking? It's okay, mate. It's still tentative. It's 5 points in it, so that part's good. Have you ever seen those videos on YouTube where those people who are, what do they call when they speak like loads of languages, like polyglots or something? And they claim to speak that many languages, and I hear them speak German, I'm like, wow. I hear them speak French, I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Then I hear them speak like Korean, I'm like, man. And then I hear them speak Chinese, I'm like, man, your Chinese sucks. You claim to speak Chinese, but your Chinese is real bad, because I can understand what you're saying, and that's bad. There is handbag, Star Monday. Chicken wings when the Blues actually won a trophy. I was at the ground instead of doing a stream, but yeah, I was pretty dumbfounded because it's just almost surreal. Ruby understands enough words to know that you're pretty good. I deliberately spoke pretty fast, to be honest. I probably wouldn't normally speak that fast, but yeah. We shouldn't trust the polyglots, yeah. I don't know, it just sounds cool when you can't understand it, right? Like, I've seen those videos where they're like, Mark Zuckerberg speaks fluent Chinese. And I'm like, well, he can speak a sentence. I don't mean to poop on those guys' parades, but people maybe get a little bit too excited about that. Like, I still don't consider myself fluent in Chinese, but I guess it depends where you draw the line, eh? Like, people use those, some kind of like, you know, like old sayings. What's the other word for old sayings? Like idioms and stuff, and I don't get them all. That's the real deeper cultural understanding stuff that's really hard to get a grasp on. Back to a 2-score margin. When you're living in a place, picking up the language is much easier. You are so right, Victoria. I would have learned more in my first year in China than I did studying the thing before I left. For sure. Easy. Tupo's on. Starleo, indeed. My Spanish is okay. Says Fleshin. Declan can speak Welsh and Polish. Jack, the food in China is bloody amazing. Amazing. My mum is very particular about the word fluent and gets a bit full on. People say they speak fluent Maori, most actually don't. Yeah, I feel like fluent means you should be able to go into pretty much any situation without having any nerves. Like, there's a lot of situations, if you ask me to go and speak Chinese, I would feel pretty nervous. Like if you said, you know, go and translate in the courtroom for this defendant, which one of the judges asked me to do once when I was working at the High Court. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that because no. No. Yeah. Like, conversational and fluent, I feel like are quite different. Anyway. Why am I wearing a hurricane jacket? Because I'm a bit cold, eh? I had a bit of a bug the last few days, so I am staying warm. A lot of situations in French where I'm very fluent but not accurate, Victoria. That's true. I feel like I'm the same. I can definitely make myself understood, but I might make some mistakes. But I still think there's a lot of times when I would be blank. I can swear a lot in Polish and say hello and thank you. Those are the key things. Hello, thank you, a few numbers maybe, and the swear words. Don't think 2 cents can read or write Chinese? Bro, of course I can. Of course I can. I can't read as much as I can say, but I can sure read it, for sure. Yeah, I'm kind of with your mum, April, too. I feel like fluent, like while it's not quite native speaker, is close. Oh, big scrum from the Wallabies there. Tupo. JP, I agree. Tupo. Boomfa. Big old scrum. I can speak American, English, and Canadian. I understand those languages, I believe. Most people in English pronounce merci beaucoup wrong because they basically say nice ass. Oh. Yep. Right. There's a 5-meter line out for the Aussies. I feel like it's another kind of key moment here. This is where they got a try previously. Oh, but Wokie's on, and he is the line-out disrupting specialist, but they've not jumped. They just set for the maul defense. Can understand more written Dutch than spoken. I'm definitely the opposite with Chinese. Oh, Chipper Chase! Oh, he's blown it! The bounce of the rugby ball can be so cruel, can't it? Ryan, I am at 54.30. What a cruel bounce. Paisami with the kick, and it just doesn't sit up for Tom Wright. It's brutal. us English are rubbish at languages. They taught us so badly in school. To be fair, Charlotte, New Zealanders don't really learn many languages either. I think the majority of people who speak a second language have immigrant parents. But that being said, like April 2 mentioned with the Māori, that's, I believe, going a lot better than it was like when I was a child. Like when I went to my son's school yesterday for some show they did, the kids were certainly singing songs in Māori, which was something I never did when I was a kid, like heaps of different songs. Who's going to run between Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier? I have no idea. No idea. I know Conor McGregor, so I'll go with him. He's got a bit of a mouth, just FYI. In case you didn't know. That scrum's gone down, but they're still going to get the ball out. Dante's not going to kick it. Jamie says, have a pint on me. I appreciate that, man. I certainly will. Thank you, brother. Kindly appreciated. New Zealand's terrible languages. Even Māori is only being taught properly as a core subject. Songs are nice, but alongside equals how it should be. Yeah. Interestingly, April 2, there was one teacher who clearly is a fluent Māori speaker, I don't know, was speaking to her class in Māori, like sit up, stand, be quiet, go sit over there. Like I could only tell from the context of the situation, but she was speaking to the children in Māori, but she was the only one. I speak 8 of the 11 South African languages. Bloody hell. Like, I honestly feel special in New Zealand speaking 2. Most New Zealanders can't speak 2, as I said, unless they're, like, most people haven't learned a second language in school or uni. But, yeah, then Europeans and other countries, like, can speak loads. 8 languages is bonkers. Oh, that Wales-France match in 2019, Jamie, mate. Most Australians can't speak even one language. There you go. Speak Kiwi and Aussie, Craig. There you go. Just like my mum and my dad. I've got to admit, though, honestly, there's a lot of times when having a second language is pretty convenient. Pretty convenient. Like, if I want to tell my kids off in New Zealand without anybody kind of looking at me like, why is he speaking to his kids that way? I can get away with that in Chinese. Definitely. That's pretty convenient. See, I didn't learn English though, but French. Victoria, I know what you mean. Like, when you learn a second language, you have to learn about, like, all the grammatical stuff, about how a language works, and I never learned any of that in school. I never learned any of that, like, why English does what it does when I was in school. Not a thing. Gargle, mate. This game is going okay. It's tight. 18 points to 10. The Wallabies went down a couple of tries early, but then kind of ground their way back into the game. Their scrum, in recent times since Taniela Tupou has come on, though, is starting to get some pay. They've just got another scrum penalty. You know Dad's serious when he starts up with the Chinese, that's right. Haircut time. God, he's back to haircut, isn't he? There was a short time when Tate McDermott didn't have an awful haircut. Like, it was only a short time. But he's back to that awful haircut, isn't he? Enter the haircut. Yeah. In Ireland, you learn Irish in primary school and secondary school. You learn French, Spanish. Okay. You need to get a foreign language to get into university. Is that right? We certainly don't do that in New Zealand. Gravity says it's a good match. Yeah, it's a tight one. I definitely prefer this to New Zealand versus Tonga. Lodesio, come on, man. You can do this. This is an easy kick compared to the last one. Boomfa. Nailed it. 13-18. Very close. There we go. 13-18. The Chinese will help when the CCP take over the West. Be prepared to do paperwork. The only thing I really experienced with the CCP when I was in China was, boy, there's a lot of paperwork. Stamps. Big red stamps. Come on, Korobete. He hasn't had enough of the ball this game. Poor Tonga, that interview with the coach was hard fleshing. Yeah, man. The blame game has been pretty hard since that one, but I think it's been largely oversimplified. I think there's a multitude of factors going on with that result. In South Africa, you have to learn a second language. I think in New Zealand, at least when I was a kid, which is a long time ago, you had to pick up a second language when you were, what's third form? Like 14? When you're 14 years old, which is a bit late to be starting with a second language, you had to pick up a second language, and you did it for 1 year, and then you could pretty much drop it. So, yeah. Commentators, Aussie or Kiwis? Probably the Kiwi ones, but some of them grind my gears as well, to be honest. Māori or French, nice food. Yeah, it was for my school. It was Māori, French, or Chinese. So you know what I took? I took French. Right, the fullback's having a crack here. Jamine, and he has nailed it. What a kick! What a kick on his debut as well. Pressure kick, and he's nailed it. Back to an 8-pointer. Big kick, that one. Look at that haircut, hideous. A lot of the guys seem to have a stupid haircut at the moment. Mo'unga's got a similar one. David Havili's had it. A lot of the Crusaders guys have had it. It just seems to be the in one at the moment. Nice food takeaways. Took Māori. I wish I'd taken Māori. I just took French because I thought it was going to be easier. Rassi selling Bitcoin was phenomenally hilarious. I agree, David. Kids know they're in trouble when the better half starts selling pushing at them. Yeah. Frenchies are wrapping this up. Lonergan's on for his debut. Growth of the mullet in rugby is horrendous. There's a lot of good mullets out there, man. Hamish Watson's rocking a mullet. Johnny Hill's rocking a mullet. There's a lot of mullets at the moment. It's a 3-game series, Roman, mate. It's a 3-game series. Free kick to France at that scrum. So the Aussie dominance has kind of been stifled. Your dad was lying. He may have just been misinformed. Wallabies can't lose. They probably need to win. They've got 15 minutes left. Worst mullet of all time. Did you see those kids in the game? One of the games in Trans-Tasman. The one played at Napier had a couple of kids with some pretty bad mullets, to be honest. Show Bitcoin who's boss with Luno. That's what we should all be doing. Following Russie's advice. UG mate, yes, it's a very, very inexperienced French team. Most of their top guys were not available or injured. So it's a bit of a depth building exercise for... Holy crap, that kick didn't go anywhere. Yeah, for the French. It is the second half. It is 65 minutes and 30 seconds in. Why do kids have mullets? I don't know. Their parents are not educating them properly. Time is 65:45 at the moment. Right, the French. I feel like, they just knocked it on. I was going to say, if they can go through some phases, maybe pick up a try, this could be a breaking moment for the Aussies, but no, they've knocked it on. If the Aussies lose, what's this going to mean for them at the championship? Not a good look. Next minute, 2 Cents Junior wants a mullet. Do not say that. Don't you swear. I don't know what I'm going to do if my son decides he wants a mullet. None of the kids in his class have got a mullet. One of them's got an afro. None of them have got mullets. Yeah. Who's going to play 10 for the All Blacks this weekend? I would still say it'll be Moonga. But I would be happy to see Bodie getting a crack. I think it'll be Moonga. Australia's just coughed the ball up. It's not looking good. Ribsy says, going to go on a limb. The mullets are great. Mullets are maybe the pineapple pizza of haircuts, in that there's a select few who can appreciate them, but for everybody else, it is seen as just heinous. Just say no to the mullet until he's old enough to take him to pay for himself. Well, I'm the one cutting his hair, so the haircut he gets is the one I give him. And right now, it ain't a mullet. I'd put it that way. Tim's nipping in to keep an eye on the score. It's the French at the moment, Tim, mate. You can see how enthralling the game is. At least it's a close one, Craig, mate. At least it's close. Mullets are great because they are like a uniform. They show me exactly who I should avoid. Oh, no. Yeah. Come on, Wallabies. You need to get a score and make this interesting. How old are my kids, Tiam? My son is 5 and my daughter is 3. So I would still consider them pretty high maintenance. But at least they are both toilet trained. They can feed themselves. They can walk around. So they got the basics down. Would you say this game has seen some players play themselves out of a starting place for the future? I don't know, man. It's the first game, so I don't know that we can judge it too hard. A lot of the games for these first up games haven't been kind of phenomenal shifts from everybody. There's probably a barbershop on 2 Cent Street. Not quite on my street, Charlotte, but on the one around the corner, yes. That's the best age, I think, as a parent. Yeah, they still love you and they still know how to use the toilet by themselves, so it's kind of perfect, isn't it? My daughter's cute, but she drives me up the wall. Right. Come on, Harry Wilson. He's gone so close, but he's brought down. Slow ball. Even Tupou can't get over. Come on, haircut. Get in there. That's your job. Whoa, he doesn't get in there. I was thinking that's your job, to stick that ugly head in places where you don't want to stick it. Audio's too high, you can hear the game. I'll try and speak louder so I kind of mask it. Harry Wilson went close. Marika went close. A lot of guys close. I'll take this score down. It was try time. My daughter's cute, but she drives me up the wall. That's, yeah, pretty much it, Philip, isn't it? Yeah. Good try from the Wallabies. They needed that pretty desperately. Should make for a good last 10, indeed. They needed that. They absolutely needed that. It's a 1-point game. This is the same scoreline that was the Giltinis up against Nola Gold in the MLR. No, that's the wrong score. I need to fix that. In that game, the home team lost by this exact scoreline. That was the Giltinis, a team full of Australians. I'm talking about the MLR. It's just random that it's the same scoreline. 1-point ball game, 10 minutes to go. That was a beauty, Bruno, indeed. We're in for a special final kind of 10 minutes, I guess. Oh. Jamine has mucked up the kick, and yeah, it's given the Wallabies possession. Out on the full, that one. Normal for France when they had a 15-point lead. Yeah, that might be true. They got a debutant throwing the ball, and the Wallabies need to win this line out. Just inside the French half. The French will compete. No, they won't. They get it to haircut. AKA Tate McDermott. JP wants them to run it. Run it, guys. Run it. The French are competing at that breakdown, but nope. They've still got it. Come on, Marika. I love it that Marika hits that ball at pace. Surely Hooper was offside of that try. I haven't seen it, whether he was bound to the ruck or not. Haven't seen Pinot do anything. You might be right. Let's have a look. I can't really recall Pinot having a big old... Pinot. Damien Pinot, his stats thus far, with ball in hand, he's had 1 run for 3 meters, 1 pass, and he's made 4 tackles. There you go. Next score wins? Possibly, yeah. There's still enough time for more than 1 score. Should have had Tupou and haircut on. One of the guys, the Cleganator in the comments, said he thought it was going to be the Queensland bench that was going to be the difference maker at the end of this game. He might be right. Get to it, haircut. You got to get to it, haircut. France, James, mate. Yeah, they've been put under a bit of pressure. Wallabies got to try through Hooper, so it's a 1-pointer. 1 point ball game. Scrum time. Now the Wallabies scrum. Do they just want to keep it in there? Put Tupou on them to potentially get a penalty, possibly. And they get it. They get the scrum penalty. They don't have Reece Hodge. But it is a big penalty. Ruby had to walk for the game. She doesn't like it when someone messes up. She feels sorry for them. Yes, I know the feeling. Lockie Lonergan helps get them a scrum penalty, and Lucan Salakaoloto slaps him upside the head. Well done, son. France are historically bad away from home. In recent years, they haven't won at Twickenham since 2005. They haven't won in Australia, I think, since the 90s. So, yeah. But my bet of France plus 11 is looking pretty good right now. I feel like I'm going to make $2 from that. Hoorah. Haircut. Come on, get in there, son. Quick ball. He snipes and gives it to Korobidi. Korobidi's everywhere. He wants the ball, but he got pushed backwards there. Valtini, bit of a standing start. Droppy. Lodisio. That's wide. That's wide. Yeah. He wasn't under too much pressure. He's just pushed it wide. Man. Damn. For them, that's a bad one. But there's still time. It could go either way, folks. How many minutes, Allard? We are at 76:45. Yeah, France clear it back to halfway. Of course, it's Korobidi. He's not going to pass. He's just going to run it directly into contact because that's what he does. Shonik, mate, it is a close one. It's as close as it can get. Oh, Tupou! Tupou! Big line break. Oh, he probably should have started, folks. Paisami with the... Oh, it's too big. It's too big for Callaway. Oh, man. They maybe didn't need to kick that one, to be honest. Whoa. Too big. They need to run it, JP. They need to run it, not kick it. And Victoria, you're right. The French are, yeah, they're holding on. Oh. Yeah, pretty brutal on Craig, mate. Aussies don't trust their own handling. That was a golden chance. Liam, I also reckon keep it in the hands there. You don't need to go for the miracle ball. They may have just given the game away. They might have. They've had two chances. The missed drop goal and now the missed Crossfield kick. Keep it in the hands for sure, says Craig. That's what I would have done, but then again, I'm not a professional, international level rugby player, so what do I know? If it had come off, it would have been brilliant. What can you say? Big line out for the French. Wallabies have to contest. Can't win it, but it's loose. Aribare manages to grab it. Wallabies can't give away a penalty here. Just let the French... That's too long to run the clock, so just let them clear it. You'll get another chance. Aussies are trying to do the flash instead of the hard graft. They do need to just, back themselves to go through it. Never get notification, Quasi. I know sometimes it doesn't work on YouTube. I think it's because I put out too many videos. Don't know. But we're at 78:15, so there's a minute and 45 seconds left. Somebody just asked about the time. We're not too far away. Wallabies are back on halfway. They've got quick hands. Another kick. It's another kick. It's a bit of a nothing kick. There's no pressure on it, so the French will just clear. We'll have a line out on halfway. No, the 10-metre line. So Wallabies have got one more crack. Oh, stupid kick. I guess they were going backwards, so they kind of panicked. One minute left. 1 minute left. They've won the line out. That's a good start. Nice Irani with a big carry. Oh, and the French have won a turnover. That could be the game. That could be the game. Dante's got a clear release, I think. What a close game, natural talent, it sure is. Dave Rennie's not happy with that final turnover. Liam reckons France are going to screw up the line out. All they need to do, win the line out, kick the ball out. It's game over. Yeah, they've got it. Oh, yep. Are you kidding me? What the hell are you doing, France? They had the ball. Nobody wanted it. They just let the bloody Aussies get it. What is going on? What is going on? This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. What are you doing? What are you doing? Liam called it. You kind of did. I don't know if that was the line out or just a loose ball on the ground. Somebody pick it up. What do? Do they drop into the pocket? Do they go through the phases? Tupou, get it to Tupou. 5 phases. Don't give away a penalty here, France. Don't give away a penalty here. You got to be very careful. His body's all over it. Who wants to not win this game the most? That seems to be the thing. Come on, guys. What are they doing? And they've got advantage. Offside. The Wallabies have got a free play. Otherwise, Lolosia's got a chance to win it with a kick. If you're the French, surely you just infringe here to make him take the pressure kick. I don't know. Is it a kickable one? It's pretty kickable. Lolosia's been pretty ice cold with the boot. They're 5 metres out. It's 11 phases. How long is the ref going to let the advantage go? French defence is holding. it's messy. There's bodies everywhere. The pod goes close. They got another advantage. McDermott, it's close, but he's not over. What's going on? The French guys need to get their hands behind that line. That's offside again. Surely. Long shot. It's 16 phases. The Wallabies are knocking on the door of the French line. They're about a metre away. Every phase they go through, the French guys just keep tackling them and keep tackling them. McDermott is going to get it to Tupou. Tupou's on his own. No, drop goal. It wasn't a great pass. It was a pretty bad pass. But this is a goal kick right in front, so this is game. This is game. How the hell did the French not win that line-out ball? They tipped it back on their side. They need to replay that line-out. They need to replay that line-out. Oh my god, that's such a fluky finish, but oh my. That's an ultimately French finish. God, they blew that, but kudos to the Aussie guys. Who was that guy that secured that loose ball? I've already forgotten who it was. They jumped. The French guy tapped it back. Who's the Aussie that scrambled and grabbed it from the ground? McDermott. Okay. It was Tate. Kudos to the Tate McDermott, man. He needs man of the match for that. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Darren Mundy, man. Cheers for the super sticker. It doesn't display properly when I put it here. Thanks, mate. You must be a happy chappy. What a get out of jail that was. Unbelievable. Goodness me. Unbelievable. It was Tate. Game is over, James, mate. Game is over. 23-21. Aussie slot a penalty because they got advantage at the death. Unbelievable. What a game. What a game. That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Okay. Yeah, after they missed the drop goal. Oh. After that cross kick just went way too big. Anyway. Cheers, JP, man. Yeah, that was a bit of fun. We'll have to do this again sometime soon when the Aussies take on the French again. If this is still anything to go by, it could be a pretty good series because the next game should be even better, to be fair. Both these sides still building some combos and whatnot. But, yeah, what a crazy finish. All right, folks. I'm going to head off. I've got an early rise tomorrow with the Lions playing the Sharks. If that goes ahead, sure should do because neither of those camps have got COVID cases. But anyway... Alright, April 2, I could certainly use a coffee tomorrow morning, but I know what you mean. Yeah, take care. And yeah, I'll see you guys a bit later. Take care.